Well, as we are several days now into a war in Iran, the Middle East is torn apart in many directions. And while missiles are flying and airborne attacks are taking place, we have not as of yet seen troops on the ground. But that's probably because a lot of this was very carefully planned from the beginning. And then it makes you wonder what is going on in the background that could be aiding Iran in this war. To talk to me about this and more, our very own Brian Isted. Hey, Brian.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. Yes, you are in a different part of the world right now, and I can tell by your tan that you're getting into the outdoors. Maybe you can give us some insight. We're hearing rumors that the initial attack on the headquarters in Iran um, was very well calculated. Maybe as an expert in that field and cybersecurity and cyber warfare, what do you think, or could you explain to us what occurred there that made it so easy to make this assassination?
Great question. So Israel, through the IDF and the work of their 8200 signals intelligence interception unit, did probably the most impressive display of long-term planning while hacking the CCTV traffic cameras of the Iranian streets and infrastructure. So what it's looking like is for a period of 2+ years, the IDF, through again 8200 signals interception capabilities, tracked the real-time movements of dozens of the Iranian senior leadership in military, in politics, any senior official that had anything to do with Iranian strategy or leadership was essentially tracked through CCTV cameras that the IDF had hacked to relay information in real time, also using super advanced, what we'll call AI facial recognition, things that so you don't have to have someone sitting there watching a monitor, giving you sort of human assets of
Oh,
relaying the information that you're seeing on a screen. They're using AI and facial recognition to track and portray what's called a pattern of life for all of these folks. So this is probably that I'm aware of, the most impressive, massive scale, long-term, 2+ year operation where they were able to, again, develop a pattern of life on these people, hacking into their CCTVs remotely and figuring out the time to strike several of them at the same time, including Khomeini, who they took out on day one with this extremely impressive operation.
pattern of life. What does that involve?
So you're looking at things like, what time does this gentleman go to work? What route does he take? How many guards does he have with him? Is it the same time every day? Is it different time Monday, Wednesday, Friday? So eventually, with enough intelligence gathering, enough monitoring, you can figure out exactly what the pattern of this person's life is. Maybe it's all mixed up for 2 weeks and then back to normal for 1 week and then another. So even though you could be trying to throw off any kind of surveillance using counter surveillance techniques, you're still going to develop some kind of pattern, especially over 2+ years. So this is nothing short of unbelievable use of intelligence gathering remotely using these cyber tools that the IDF was able to hack in. Again, I'm not choosing sides here on this at all. I'm just
No, just an impressive feat of espionage.
it's unbelievable.
What other surveillance do you think the IDF has been using in preparation for this? I think it's like you. I think it's incredibly impressive that over 2 years. I'm sorry, you can lose track, even if for a 6-month period you are paranoid about being surveyed. I think that you would probably forget about it. You would let your guard down. You would get back to a pattern of living. What other kind of, I guess, pattern recognition or tracking is done that the IDF has been using?
Well, that's just it. I don't really know exactly, but the articles that I was able to get my hands on were saying the use of AI, like I said, and facial recognition, any type of biometric that they were able to capture of an individual, so that all of this data could be sort of monitored and aggregated in real time by artificial intelligence supercomputers. You know what I mean? Able to
Wow.
relay that to humans on the ground, or you know what I mean, the receiving end of this aggregate information, so they can build what's called a package on these members that they're following. And you don't need people to be interpreting this information anymore. You can get such hyper accurate and realistic portrayals of this through just the filtering of software that like I've been out of the intelligence game for about 6 years, almost 6 years now. And this is, I never read anything like this before in any of the reporting that I had access to. The IDF has always been one of the most, if not the most advanced, along with the US and the UK, in terms of their SIGINT collection capabilities. But this is next level now with the help of AI. And there's almost nothing that can't be done, in my opinion.
Okay, let's go to the other side of the fence for a minute. What is Iran using to get intelligence? We're hearing it's Russia, it's China. How does that operate? How are they given such up to the minute info? And what do you think that has in the way of impact on the theater of war here?
Really, really good question. So I'm just going to read the title of the article that I found on defensesecurityasia.com. So China deploys 30,000-ton, forgive me mispronouncing here, Liuwang 1 floating supercomputer to Gulf of Oman, plane intelligence ship now watching U.S. Israel Iran war from 6,000 kilometers.
So they're at sea with a supercomputer.
This ship is a 30,000-ton, essentially floating supercomputer that's sitting in international waters, that's being protected by a cruiser and I think another warship, because this ship would have almost no defensive or offensive capability. It's literally just a signals intelligence collecting device, where it's completely changing the battle space for the benefit of Iran, because they're able to provide insanely accurate and detailed and thorough reporting of US, again, patterns of life, patterns of strategy. Where are they launching missiles from? How long does it take to, you know what I mean, reload the missiles? Where are they refueling? Where are their logistic supports? When planes are coming from long range out of necessarily the sensors of Iran, now this ship is able to pick it up. So they're assisting non-kinetically the Iranian forces through this just unbelievable intelligence gathering machine floating 6,000 kilometers away in international waters, which brings into question, should the US be, lack of a better term, I guess, frustrated by the efforts of China in this ability to lend them assistance? Would they fire on this ship? I certainly hope not, because that would definitely result in an escalation that now brings China into the war kinetically. So again, I'm not a subject matter expert on the dimensions of the battle space and all the fronts here, but this is an absolute game changer for Iran to be real-time monitoring with the most precise instruments that China is able to provide them from that far away.
This is a pretty high-tech war so far. A lot of it being fought from far away, dropping pinpoint, super accurate bombs, missiles being thwarted by a dome of protection. There's a lot of technology being used out there that doesn't have much to do with boots on the ground. But it is amazing to me with the pinpoint accuracy that's being used so far. It looks like, by and large, the infrastructure, the above ground infrastructure of Iran is really taking a hit here. Can they make a comeback using this information? Can they? To me, it feels like they're just going to be able to sustain a war longer with this information. But could it put them in a sort of a winning advantage?
Winning advantage? I'm not sure. They are using brilliant tactics. Like I saw one report that said that they're painting the silhouettes of planes and helicopters and various pieces of expensive equipment onto large pieces of tarmac, so that the US is using multi-million-dollar missile strikes wasted on the painting of a ship.
Wow.
There's so much. There's a great saying that I happen to agree with, and it's called, "The first casualty of war is the truth." So there's really no telling what is actually going on there, other than the smattering of reporting that we're getting. I usually tend to look at non-mainstream sources, because if you listen to what, for instance, Israel is saying about the IDF, they have suffered no casualties as of yet. So I don't think that the things that most people have access to bear any resemblance on reality. And I would urge people to definitely double, triple check your sources, you know what I mean? Make up your own mind on what you're seeing, and don't listen to any one source or believe any one piece of information. Like, if this really does interest you, go down some holes here and figure it out. To come back to your original question, like, is this going to result in Iran winning this war? I really don't think so. I don't know, but you hit the nail on the head saying that the technology and the signals interceptions and the cyber changing of this battle space is unlike anything that we've ever seen before. And Iran is using a very interesting strategy of trying to deplete US missile capabilities and numbers by, you know what I mean, like I said, painting something interesting on the ground, or just firing so many missiles that the dome defense missiles end up running out. And then you've got China in the background saying, well, how long is it going to take them to restock these missiles? Where is it coming from? Can we intercept this? It's unbelievable. It's like watching a movie of World War III in real time. It's really both entertaining and scary.
Yeah, it is a very scary space right now on that front. The other thing that I wanted to point out was I'm seeing a lot of AI propaganda out there. I saw a B-52 bomber being pulled through the streets of Tehran. I don't think when something comes from 60,000 feet in the air, it looks like it's intact and can be towed around a city. So immediately I thought, oh, this is AI. And sure enough, you go to the comments and the source of it is AI. I think that there's a lot of propaganda in this. The AI technology and technology overall is playing a part in this war, even if it's just to create a populist opinion one way or the other.
No, you're 100% accurate. There's always been propaganda has existed in war since the beginning of time, but the ability now dem- to uh, to distribute it and have it reflected so seemingly accurately or realistically is, again, unlike anything we've ever seen. It started a little bit a few years ago with the onset of the Ukraine-Russia conflict, and there was a lot of AI and a lot of misinformation, disinformation floating around about that. But even just in the last few years, the advances of AI and deepfakes and things that the intelligence community, when I was there, were taking very seriously in terms of their ability to dissuade or persuade people one way or another. I'm kind of at a loss for words to explain the impact that this is going to have, because I don't think anyone really knows. But like I said, you got to be real careful about what you see and what you believe, because it's so easy for almost anyone now to create something that's hyper realistic, let alone, you know what I mean, a state-backed actor that has the most sophisticated tools possible at their disposal to try to distribute information to swing the public opinion one way or another. And we've never seen anything like this. So it's your guess is as good as mine.
We've got governments now that have an interest in so many platforms out there that even the delivery mechanism by which you get this content. By the way, this is not AI. That's really Brian. I'm really Mike. So although AI would say that to cover up,
I would have made myself handsomer.
I've got the right same, and I would have added a couple of more fingers. But having said that, it is something I think that is on the horizon. It's a little bit freaky to watch a war unfold where there's not a whole lot of news on the streets right now, on the battlefield. A lot of it is being done and shown to us in really, cell phone footage. Yeah, the country is without internet, so we're not getting a live feed of what's happening there. What we are receiving right now pretty much is all propaganda, whether it's from a news source, from one or other of the players in the battle, but it's hard to know that we're getting any real information.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And the folks watching this at home really need to be careful about where they're getting their information from, and including this, you know what I mean? Double check everything I'm saying, everything you're saying. Nothing should be taken at face value. It's a time when this unprecedented level of sophisticated technology is able to basically brainwash people. And it sort of started more or less with COVID, in my opinion. It's a whole other podcast I'm sure I'll do soon. But this has been planned for a long time. The use of these tools and executing them now is part of a strategy. Absolutely.
Later in the week, we're going to visit AI and the impact that it can have on a battlefront and the people watching at home. And I hope you'll join us for that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Look, Brian, thanks very much. I appreciate this. A lot of great shows right now on the network with Brian and some great guests. Oh my gosh, Sam Cooper, Gary Clement. It goes on and on and on. His guests are just incredible, and the shows they run deep and go long, and I think that you guys will really enjoy them. Please don't hesitate to go and take a look right now. Brian, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. And I got a couple more gems coming up real soon too. So keep an eye out. We got
Oh,
some great
I
folks
know
lined
you
up.
do. Yeah, your line of connectivity is amazing. So thank you. And thank you for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe, tell a friend about what we're doing here at TPL, tplmedia.ca. You can download the app for either Android or the iPhone. And listen, when RIM makes a comeback, we'll get one going for the Blackberry. See you next time.
See ya.